Hello, everybody. How are you today? I am not all in. I am not all in my business. And my coach, the fabulous Amanda Rose, has challenged me to not only get all in, but one of the ways that I'm getting all in is to do 30 days straight of doing lives. And I'm really uncomfortable right now. I really don't want to be doing this. My other challenge from her is to be more raw and to let people see more about what's going on with me. So, so I'm doing this live. Are you really all in, or is this just an expensive and frustrating as fuck hobby? Okay, because I know I'm not alone. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are playing at. It looks like I'm naked. I'm not naked. I don't know why that mattered to me. Um, there's a lot of people who think they're all in. I have thought I was all in many times in my career. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I only really started making good money, doing it this year. And I'm still nowhere near what I really need to be making. And it's not because I'm not a great coach or a great teacher, because I am. The problem is I'm still kind of treating this as a hobby. And then I'm getting frustrated when I'm not seeing the phenomenal results that I really want to see. I mean, hell, right now I just want to be able to consistently and easily pay my bills and not have to worry about where my next client is coming from. And I thought that I was all in. Every time that I've purchased a program or hired a new coach, I thought, okay, well, I'm all in. I made this investment, I'm all in. And that's apparently not what being all in is. Beyond, and then like I would start like gangbusters on something, and I would really put my all into it, and really be implementing and applying. And then after a few weeks, I find something wrong with the program, or I find something wrong with the coach, and I just don't, I don't give it my all anymore. And this year I've been more determined than ever and more committed than ever to get my business off the ground. And, so I would go in and I would be like, okay, I'm going all in. And I still wasn't getting the results I wanted. And I really wanted to just walk away and throw a temper tantrum like I have done for the last 9 years. And I mean, there are other things at play too. I talk a lot about like trying to find a way of marketing and selling that felt good. That definitely was a problem. However, if I had been more all in during that time, I would have found that solution much more quickly instead of struggling for 9 years before I finally created slash found a solution, right? So this past year has been, a struggle, and I was like working with one-to-one coaches, and I want to share my story too, to um, normalize, what it looks like for a lot of people. Some people do get into the entrepreneurial world, they go to a coaching program, they go through a coach training, and then they take off. But for most people, it's some kind of uphill battle, for a while. There's a lot of reasons that can be, and I'm not really going to go into all that, right now. But this concept of being all in, you hear about it a lot. Are you really all in? Oh yeah, well, I bought the course, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So this year, was different. I got some one-to-one help, and it was a lot harder to stop because I had one-to-one help. I had already invested. I knew that they were holding me accountable, and that's like the magic of having one-to-one help. You want somebody who's knowledgeable and knows what the hell they're talking about, but just having that accountability is huge, right? So so I'm like, okay, I'm all in, and I would be showing up for my coaching appointments, and I would be, implementing and everything, and I still wasn't seeing any results, and I just wanted to like retreat into my self-help excuses. Not self-help, self-care excuses. And self-care is a real thing, and we need to be doing self-care. But what I would do, and what I think I see a lot of people doing, what I know I see a lot of people doing, is they come up against a wall where they're uncomfortable making, different choices, taking different actions, doing more of this, more of that, less of this, whatever it is. And instead of just pushing through it, they're like, oh, I just, I need like some self-care, so I'm just going to give myself a break. And you have to figure out for yourself, like, what is legitimately you doing self-care and giving yourself a break, and what is you just ducking and dodging, doing what it's going to actually take to get you to your next level. And so I did a lot of like the self care cop out. Well, this year, if you followed me, you've heard me talk about the gritty why. And I discovered for me, the concept of the why and the big mission and all that stuff is inspiring, but it wasn't keeping me going. And so I had to find what worked with me, which was, this is the negative consequence. This is the bad thing that is going to happen if I don't get off my ass and keep working on this business, even on the days where I don't feel like it. And I'm not talking about a day that you're exhausted and, you have the flu and, you know, um, whatever. I mean, life happens, right? But what I'm talking about is like just the days where you're just like, oh, I really don't feel like it. I'm tired, and you make the excuses and you don't show up. So I found, my gritty why, which was if I don't get my business started, I'm going to have to take care of my father all by myself. And I'm not naturally, a caretaker, right? I can do a decent job at it, but I really need help. And if I don't make my business work, then I have to do that on my own. So that is what I that's what helped me to get a little more all in. And I was like, okay, I'm all in now, right? I've got this reason that I've got to show up. And it helped. Like it helped me to show up on days that, otherwise I really didn't want to show up. And when you're not seeing a lot of results or you're not seeing the results that you want, it is really easy to be like, fuck it, I'm just not going to show up, right? So that helped a little bit. And I was like, okay, I'm all in. I'm all in. And I still wasn't getting the results I wanted. And I wanted to, throw in the towel. And I was like, no, this is going to fucking work. I'm going to fucking make this work no matter what. I'm going to make this work. And like, I had to dig down and find this deeper level of commitment and deeper level of commitment that I didn't even know existed. It's like I had to become willing to be uncomfortable and willing to put more into this. And what that looked like at the time was me spending more time on my business every day. And that's one way you can go for it. But I'll be telling you in a minute why that's not necessarily the answer. So, I started posting more consistently. Over the summer, I implemented a post rotation system and got really good at showing up like 30 plus times a week on online, and was doing that really consistently. And that got my name out there and that got me interacting with people, but it really didn't get me any clients. But every training that I've ever taken was all, oh, you got to post consistently, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And it's like I wouldn't get that out of my head. And so when that, I got a couple clients, and it wasn't even it really had nothing to do with my posting, honestly, now that I'm looking back on it. But at that time, I was like, oh, I got some clients. It's because I'm posting a lot. And that really wasn't it for me. And it may be it for you. And that's part of this whole thing, is figuring out like what strategies work for you. All strategies work, but no strategy works for everyone, and you gotta be willing to like try stuff out. And so, I was posting like crazy and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm not getting the results. I'm really getting frustrated. I'm not getting more clients. What the fuck is happening? Yada yada. I had all the negative thoughts come up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find like a deeper level of determination and commitment. And so I did, and I kept sticking it out. And then I invested in a group program, and there's a lot of great things about the group program, but still, I think the big thing with that is just that, like, I still wasn't as all in as I thought I was. I'm like, oh, well, I'm showing up every day and I'm implementing, the stuff that they talk about, and I'm doing this and that, but I still wasn't getting as many clients as I wanted. So I'm like, okay, what is it? And then I finally was like, okay, I keep doing more. I keep posting more and going live more and, implementing this and doing that, but I'm still, I'm getting more people engaging, but I'm still not getting clients. Like, what the fuck is going on? So working more wasn't necessarily the answer. And I hired a mindset coach. And Amanda's actually, mindset, business, manifestation, like everything kind of all in one. But I was like, this is a mindset thing. Like, I'm doing the things, and it's not that I can't improve my strategies. It's not like you can't improve the strategies that you're doing, or the way that you're implementing them. But at some point, it's like, what is really going on. If you're doing all the things and you're not getting the clients, and you're getting really frustrated, then it's probably more like a mindset thing, right? And you just have to be willing to do something different. And so, again, like my Amanda has been telling me every week, she's like, you need to be reaching out in the DMs to people, and you need to be friend requesting like 5 people every day. And that's it. Like, that's what you need to do. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, but that's not, the excuse is that's not, I don't know. It's too basic. Like, in my head, I'm like, that can't possibly work. And so she's been telling me this for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I keep not doing it. And I had to have like a come to Jesus meeting with myself and just be like, I'm not all in. I'm just not all in, because I'm willing to take action, but I'm not willing to take the actions that are actually going to get me clients, and I'm just kind of like flailing around, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this strategy, and I'm going to try this strategy, and I'm going to try this strategy. But this thing that my coach is telling me to do that's actually going to work, I'm not willing to do it. And I'm sure there's all kinds of like mindset stuff underneath that. As a matter of fact, I know there's this fear of, oh, as much as I want a full practice, if I have a full practice, can I really show up? I'm one of these, I was about to say one of these rare coaches who actually gives a shit, and that's not true. That's a negative Nancy thought that I need to get out of my head. There's a lot of coaches out there that really give a shit and really want to do a good job. But yeah, there's this fear that, if I have 5 or more clients, that I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. I'm not going to be able to do as good a job for them. And that feels really scary for me. I really want to, I really am in this to like help people and do good work. So I know that's one of the negative things that's going on in my head. So how do you know if you're all in, right? So all in is saying that I'm going to fucking make this work no matter fucking what. I'm going to make this work no matter what. I'm not available for anything else. Like, this is going to work. This is going to work. How do I know? Because I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work, right? And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to spend more time on your laptop that day. Actually, I work from my iPad more often than not. Whatever it is, what it means is you're going to be willing to take the uncomfortable action. Whether it means going live when you don't really like the way you look, which is what I kind of got going on right now. I'm really frustrated with myself. I've let my business frustrations turn into like not taking care of my body. So now my poor body has been abused, and now I look a certain way, and I'm really not crazy about it. But my business is going to work. My business is working, and so I'm going to show up even though I'm not crazy about how I look right now. So if you're making a plan, like, I'm really good for this. I'll make this great social media marketing plan at the beginning of the week. And I'll even write, not in the beginning when I first started doing this, I was very on top of it. But recently, I've gotten kind of apathetic. And I'm like, I'm writing these posts and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to go live this many times, and I'm going to go live in this group, and I'm going to do this and this and this. And then I don't do it. One of the things that is that I allow to throw me off a lot is like, I have this great plan, and then something knocks me off. My pattern. Yesterday I had to go to a doctor's appointment because I found a lump in my right breast, and it's terrifying to me because I've already been through breast cancer, and it's probably just scar tissue, but I went to the doctor yesterday. So instead of waking up and going straight into working to my business, I kind of got thrown off, and I'll let that throw me off for the rest of the day. And it's not what you want to be doing. Like, you have to be in a place where like life is going to happen, and you're going to give the interruptions as much attention and focus as they need to have for you to handle it and keep moving forward. And then you're going to get right back focused on your business, right? And not allowing yourself to be derailed for any longer than is absolutely necessary. And finding ways like yesterday, my dad's financial advisor called, and I was in the middle of talking to a potential ally, or to a business ally, to a new business ally. And instead of just taking the phone to him and being like, hey, talk to Paul, I got off of my call and went and gave like 20 minutes to this situation that actually didn't really need me. And I know one of the reasons why I do that is because, as much as I love coaching, there's still a lot about this that scares the shit out of me, just being 100% honest. There's a lot about being a business owner and taking responsibility for, myself and how I deliver to people. On the one hand, I know I'm completely capable. I know I'm a total badass. On another hand, I'm like, oh my God, what if I fuck up? What if I, do something and they don't get anything out of it? And, all of these things. And that just shows that that you care. But yeah, so if you're really all in, you're going to stick to your marketing plan no matter what. Even if you have a day that just completely goes to hell and you don't get anything done for that day, and it's like legitimate reasons, like life just imploded and there was nothing you could do about it. You don't say, oh well, next week I'll get back on it. Like, you get back on it, like, right, like the next day. When I'm talking about being all in, I'm not talking about like missing sleep or neglecting your children or, any of that stuff. I'm just talking about like life happens, and give it its due, but then get right back to what you're doing. And I have not been doing that. And I think a lot of us do that. And then ask yourself, like, are you busy all day working, but is the actions that you're taking, are they actually getting you clients? Or are they just actions that you're taking? You're on Facebook and you're networking, you're engaging and you're messaging and you're going live and da 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 da, but are you doing it in a way that's actually getting you clients? Because if the actions that you're taking aren't getting you clients, and you're not looking at how you can change those actions, then you're really not all in. And I'm not preaching at anybody. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm calling myself out, really. So this is kind of like a come to Jesus meeting for me, and also get the attention, because I know I'm not the only one out there. I know that hearing these questions and, having somebody like admit, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm fucking up. I know this is going to help somebody. And really paring down, like, me posting as much as I was doing it and everything really wasn't getting me clients. So why am I going to keep stressing out about, oh my God, I don't have my post written for this week, and oh, I haven't been posting this week. So what? It wasn't giving me clients anyway. It's time to like do a new strategy. Hence me being dared to go live for 30 days in a row, and me putting on this kind of messy live. Another way you can see, like, are you really all in? Are you letting yourself be sidetracked by other people and projects in your life? Right? So we all have things going on, and you don't want your business to become your life, and you definitely, like I said, you don't want to be neglecting people, or you neglecting yourself and everything in order to have the business. But if things are consistently coming up so that you can't do your business, you can't show up consistently and make time to do the things that really matter, it's either that it's not the right time for you to start your biz. Maybe it's just not the time. Maybe it really legit is not the time for you to start the biz. If you really can't make life behave, if you really can't get on top of things in a way that allows you to make the time for your business, then maybe it's not the right time for you to have the business. And you have to be like 100% serious with yourself about that. Is it really that you can't make the time, or is it just a come to Jesus moment where you're like, nope, I really could, I'm just not, right? And if it's the second, if you're not making it a big enough priority, then you come to Jesus about it, like a come to Jesus meeting. I don't know if that translates for other people in the South. That just means like a moment of fucking truth where you just like get down to the fucking raw truth. And it's usually you're having a come to Jesus meeting with yourself, but you can't have come to Jesus meetings with other people. But, it's like, are you going to make this a priority or not? Are you going to carve out this time and say, from 2 to 4, I am working on my business? Like, if you've got a lot going on in your life and you know that you only have 2 hours in your day to do that, how serious are you going to be about your boundaries? It's like everybody, the entire world is going to fuck off right now. The whole world can keep turning for 2 hours without me. And you have to get to that, and that may involve asking for help. It may involve, you looking at your schedule and turning down some of the commitments that you made. Look, I made this commitment and I thought that I wanted to do it, but you know what? It's really not a good fit. It's not a good time. Actually, you can just say no, especially with the holiday season coming up. Like, this is a really good topic. Like, you don't have to take on anything that you don't want to take on, and if your priority is getting your business up and running, and this is especially for newer entrepreneurs, somebody was talking about how in the beginning of your business, it's like you A rocket when it takes off uses like 80% of its fuel before it breaks atmosphere, right? So if you are if you are if you're new in your business, it's going to take a lot more time and a lot more effort because you're just trying to get liftoff. You're just trying to break atmosphere, right? Break atmo. So, in the beginning, like, you have to be even like more like, okay, look, I'm doing this, come hell or high water, I am fucking doing this. If a meteor lands on my house and I can't work from 2 to 4, I'm going to make time later that evening. Or I'm going to, as soon as, I handle the chaos of this day, I'm going to go and I'm going to make time and I'm going to do my marketing. I'm going to do my outreach. I'm going to do my lives. I'm going to do whatever it is what strategy you're trying to get clients, or what strategy has been getting you clients, right? So this is just realizations I'm having about myself, about how I have fooled myself into being all in, and how I've like gradually gotten all in, and like it's been a frustrating thing because people talk about it, and there's like no, I haven't heard anybody like give me like how do you know that you're all in, and it's basically, are you taking consistent daily actions in your business that are actually getting you clients? And if you're taking consistent daily action, but you're not getting any clients, then there's something that needs to be looked at there, And if you're really all in, you're going to take that uncomfortable look at what you're doing, what you're not doing, and be really honest about it. Is it a strategy thing? Is it consistency? Is it, you're posting and you're coming out, but you're being kind of sloppy about it. You're not really in touch with what message you need to be putting out to get the great clients' attention. That's when you're all in. You just have to be real about it, and you really have to have this just rock solid stance that I am going to do this no matter what. This is fucking going to work no matter fucking what. And that's what I am feeling my way into and clawing my way down to, and finding another fucking level where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm more committed now. Oh, damn it, that's not quite it. And being uncomfortable and doing, things that your coach tells you to do, even when you're not happy about them, to an extent. I mean, there's an extent, where somebody's just not a good fit, but, it's like, is it just my uncomfortableness, or is it fear? Is it, this is the wrong strategy, that kind of stuff. So let me know how like, how all in are you? Like, if you're being 100% honest, if like 10 is like completely all fucking in, like you don't care if like a meteor is coming towards your house, you're gonna fucking, keep working on your business. That's a little extreme. But, are you all in, or one, are you like completely like just playing at things? And I would say, honestly, I've been like at maybe a 70%. I thought I was a 10. I thought I was at 100%, but I've been at like 70%, and I've just been holding back, and I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm fucking all in. So I hope you guys are all in. Would love to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you feel like is keeping you from being all in? What has it felt like when you were all in? What results were you getting when you're all in? Any of that stuff. And now I'm going to go take a walk before the sun goes down. So, bye, everybody.